Hi, my name is Meredith Angel, and I'm an ECW Certified Implementation Specialist at Revell. In today's short video, I'm going to show you how to build a template to ensure that all documentation is recorded on your telehealth visits. To get started, go into File, Templates, click New, and I'm going to call this template Star, which puts it at the top of your list. You can call this telehealth visits, telemedicine. Really, this name is only important for providers who are trying to find it and add it to their favorite list. Down here is where you can add it as a favorite for whoever's creating this, and click OK. By clicking OK, the template itself will open. The first thing you will need to do on the template is take out the complaint of telehealth visit. It always puts the name of your template into the Choose Complaint section. You just want to remove it. And then move on to HPI, which you can use this little icon at the top as a shortcut. You will then want to create a category under HPI for your televisit. You can see an example. I've created televisit right here. I'm going to create a new one to show you. So first, I highlight HPI, click New, and then name my new category. Again, you can name this telemedicine, televisit, telehealth visit. Everything is constantly shifting. Whatever you want to display on your note, as this will be the purple heading under HPI. And so I've named it televisit, which you can see here. If you create a new category and you cannot see it initially, it is probably because you've limited the amount of categories that you see under HPI, in which case you will need to go up to EMR, miscellaneous configuration options, configure categories, select HPI at the top, which it will default to. On the right side, click the provider's name, and then check off the missing category. You would need to check off televisit, click Apply, and click OK. If you see the category right away after you add it, you do not need to do that step. Back under HPI, under our new category, you want to create custom for a new symptom, which I will call telehealth visit audio and or video, because this same template can be used for virtual check-ins, it can be used for portal check-ins, and it can be used for your audio and or video office visits. Click OK. Check off the structured flag box, and that is very important because all of our data will be structured. This means that somebody can query for it in the future by using the registry. So any data that you enter here for all of your televisit appointments, you can search for that data in the future if you so chose to. Next, I'm going to click under the notes section of that structured data line. And this is where we're going to create our items. It's a blank screen at first, so you go to Custom and start adding at the top. The first item will be the consent. The line that we use is discuss consult with patient and received verbal consent to proceed over audio and or video platform. Because again, this can be used for both audio and video and audio appointments. The type will be date, because a date will be the only thing that needs to get added after this template's brought over for the date that the patient consented. The next item is the platform. And here you'll build in your video platforms, all the ones that HHS has relaxed restrictions on, like FaceTime, Skype, Facebook Messenger video. And you want this to be structured text because then you can add all those selections in after, which I will show you how to do. We're going to continue to add all of our main items though. Next is individuals included in the televisit. And this is because when you're conducting these televisit appointments with your patients, they may be in a room with other people. They might be having a parent help them if they are a child. They might be an older parent who needs help from their children. They could be in a nursing home with a caregiver there. And we want to make sure that we include all of the individuals included. So I select structured text as my type and multi-select because, again, we want to include all individuals. Next item is patient location, recording where the patient is at time of the appointment, and provider location as well. Office, home, hospital, nursing home, remote are all options that you can put here. Again, you can customize those to the needs of your practice. The next 5 items are items that need to be documented, so we include them on this template to ensure that the providers are reminded to document these notes. And when you're billing, it makes it easy if you have a little section that includes everything that is documented. So for these, I'll put the name of what needs to be documented and a Boolean because it's simply going to be a yes/no question, and I will include yes on the template. Again, it's just something to put in the front of the face of a nurse or MA who may be doing the chief complaint or the provider who's conducting the rest of the notes so that they remember to include all of these different sections that are required for a proper telehealth visit and proper documentation. And the final one is counseling, so more than 50% of the encounter must be spent counseling and coordinating care. And our final 2 items are start time and end time. Because of the way healthcare is shifting, this start and end time is very important, partially to help level codes, partially for all of these televisit appointments. So you will want to indicate the start and end time of the appointment when you start working with the patients, of course. So now we're going to go back and build in those options for the providers or whoever's helping to fill out this template to select from. So first, platform. I'm going to select it, click Customize Structured Text, and I'm going to start adding here. So first, I put audio only, so this would be only over the telephone. Next, I will include ECW televisits, and this is the platform that is built inside of ECW. Our other options, FaceTime. Many offices are using Doxy.me. Zoom, or you can put Zoom for healthcare if you're using that particular model. WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger video is another option currently. Google Chat video is another option currently. And again, we recommend using ECW televisits because it's built into the system. It's HIPAA compliant, but we also understand that it may be difficult for some people, especially your elderly population who may not be as technologically savvy. But they may be able to do something like FaceTime. But again, currently all of these platforms are approved by HHS because, again, those regulations and restrictions have been relaxed. Skype is another one. And you can put other here or other platforms that you may be using. Click OK, and now those options are built in. Same for individuals included. So here you will want to include all of your providers who will be doing telehealth visits. Just going to put Dr. Smith, Dr. Johnson for a couple of generic names, your nurse or MA. And again, in the notes section, you can free type in who that particular nurse or MA was, and then you'll want to add everybody involved from the patient's end. So the patient, of course, maybe a parent, maybe you're a pediatrics practice, so you can even put mom or dad if you want to specify which parent. You can put guardian, maybe a spouse is in the room helping. You can get as specific as aunt and uncle. You certainly don't have to do that. Usually I leave a space to put other, or maybe just a generic family member. Again, you can cater this to the needs of your practice. Patient location. The options I put in here are home, work, remote. Your patient may be in the car taking this call, or other. If you find you need to add other ones, perhaps you see patients who are in a nursing home. That is another option. Or maybe you are checking on a patient who is in a hospital that you can't currently get to right now. For provider location, again, cater these to the needs of your practice, but home. Actually, you should put office first for the provider, office, home, remote. They could be doing calls from the hospital. Perhaps they're in a nursing home doing calls. Other. And the rest of the items you do not need to alter. The only other thing that I add is under the notes section for time. So using military time is probably most beneficial and easiest if a provider is used to that, because you can simply type in, 0830 for the start time, and then the end time, maybe 0845. However, if they're not used to entering time like that, they could still do 8:30. And then to help them over here, you can add AM and PM if they would like to indicate that. But the biggest item of importance with the time is the total time. We just put start and end time because it's best to get in the habit of putting a start and end time instead of, trying to think back and estimate how long you spent with that patient. Accuracy, we want start and end time. Right now I'm going to put zeros in here because I'm going to build this template now. So I'm going to put actual items there. For the consent part, you need to put a date in order to have something appear on the template. So I usually just value it to the most current date, and then whoever gets in here to fill it out can simply put a platform. However you want to default this, you can also even build in, if you wanted to just do an underscore here, so that whoever is filling it out has to add that platform that is being used. But if you are a practice who's saying, oh, we're only using Doxy.me, you can always put that on your template to start with. Individuals included. In a multi-doc practice, I'm not going to include them. You could, of course, build separate templates out so it does include each provider. But I'm just going to put patient for right now. Patient location, we're going to default that to home. Provider default to the office. The next 5, again, these are reminders to ensure that the sections get documented in their respective areas. So chief complaint in the chief complaint section, assessment in the assessment section. And when we close out of this and our HPI window, it will populate to the template. Now mine is in a new line format. So each item on my template is a new line. If you find that yours is in a paragraph and it's difficult to read, that is a My setting. So what you'll need to do is go to File, Settings, My Settings, click on User Settings, and this display style for structured data elements in progress notes to new line. Default is if you're getting the paragraph, new line is what you want. Response in bold will still put it in a paragraph. However, the responses would be in bold if you like that option better. Again, I prefer new line. That is what you're viewing on my template. And then you'll want to make sure that the templates tab is checked off under the show hide tab. This will probably already be checked off for most providers, but that is to ensure that this templates option is on the right side, which is the easiest way to bring this template into your progress note. And they'll have to log out and in for those changes to take effect. So for an example, I have a patient on my schedule who is a televisit appointment. And so I'm going to add that template in. So I simply click on the right side on templates, ignore that error, it's my testing environment. And the star telehealth visit is what we just built. I'm going to use the arrow, bring it over into my progress note, and I can fill it out from here. You have a few different options. Of course, you can click into HPI and it will pull you to that screen where you could then click notes and fill it out. I find that's too many clicks. I like to use the green telehealth visit and click there because it takes me straight to my structured data from which I can select the date as today, the platform. We're using FaceTime with this patient. Individuals included, Dr. Smith, their parent is also on the line. Provider location, I'm actually at home taking this call, so I'm going to change that to home. Start time, I'm going to put 9:15, that's about what time it is currently where I am. And I'm going to use AM. And eventually, of course, when you get done with the note, maybe I got done with this appointment at 9:38. And again, AM. Now it's not going to calculate the total time spent, but again, what's most important is documenting when you started, when you finished, and having that as part of the note. And then, of course, as a provider or as a nurse, I'm going to document the patient's chief complaint in the chief complaint section, the histories, the assessment under their assessment screen, treatment for plan and next steps. And you have this disclaimer as more than 50%, I forgot a word. So I'm going to go in there and edit it actually. So click there, custom, update it more than 50%. But again, that's documented under the HPI. So if you were adding it under the treatment screen, you do not need to be adding it twice. Thank you for watching this short video. My name again is Meredith Angel with Ravel. And I hope you found this informative. Thank you.